If you were listening to me on Tuesday, you'll know that I set off to interview Shirley Bassey at the Mandarin Oriental. Disaster befell upon me because as I started to interview her, and it had taken a hell of a lot of organising, the batteries went in my recorder. I'll explain more in a moment, but let's put us in the mood. Because when I walked back from the Mandarin Oriental in Knightsbridge, this is the song I was singing. Because it's not the James Bond themes, it's this song that does it for me every single time.
I'd like to run away from you, but if you never found me, I would die. I'd like to break the chains you put around me, but I know I never will. You stay away and all I do is wonder why the hell I wait for you. But when did common sense prevail for lovers when we knew it never will? Impossible to live with you, but I know I could never live without you. For whatever you do, I never, never, never want to be in love with anyone but you. You never treat me like you should, so what's the good of loving as I do? Although you always laugh at love, nothing else would be good enough for you. Impossible to live with you, but I know I could never live without you. For whatever you do, I never, never, never want to be in love with anyone but you. You make me laugh, you make me cry, you make me live, you make me die for you. You make me sing, you make me sad, you make me glad, you make me mad for you. I love you, hate you, but I want you till the world stops turning. For whatever you do, I never, never, never want to be in love with anyone but you. I love you, hate you, but I want you till the world stops turning. For whatever you do, I never, never, never want to be in love with anyone but you. I love you, hate you, love.
Paul has emailed to say you've just made a very grown-up minicab driver reach for the tissues. It works every time, doesn't it, Paul?
For whatever you do.
Oh, I love it. And I think that's what they call an earwig. If you enjoyed that, I guarantee you'll be singing that well into the evening. I walked back from the Mandarin Oriental at 9 o'clock at night just singing it, and it was London and all the Christmas lights were on. I was so happy. I wasn't particularly happy with the way the interview, so I'm not making excuses, but I need to explain why it's a fairly short interview and maybe in many cases anticlimactic. What happened was Brenda Emanis from television here and her wonderful team had booked to interview Shirley Bassey at the Mandarin Oriental with Blake. Blake, as you know, are the posh boy band. Very nice Eton boys, I think, all of that ilk. And they have made a Christmas hit, well, I think it will be a hit actually, song with Shirley Bassey. So they were all at an event at the Mandarin Oriental, and the television lot were going to interview her just prior to the event, and the event was kicking off at I think at about 6:45. So they said, just come along, Joe, and then you can nip in after we've interviewed her, which is always a bit of a risk. But I popped along, and I love the Mandarin Oriental. Anyone that remembers the Bale and Leonard days, he and I used to do an awful lot of junkets there and eat their free fruit plates they used to leave out for the press. So I went along there, and it was exciting. There were masses of people waiting to see Shirley Bassey at this reception on the ground floor, and I was taken up to the Royal Suite, which is where this interview was taking place with the television lot. But they were in there, and it was a fairly lengthy interview, I think they did. By the time they'd finished, they let me in, and the manager said, Shirley, this is Jo Good from BBC Radio London. She's going to do a quick radio interview with you. And Dame Shirley wasn't expecting me. So I didn't, she was cool. She just went, but I'm late for this reception. And I said, it'll take 5 minutes. It'll only take 5 minutes. And Blake, these beautiful posh boys, they said, come on, it's fine. Let's all sit on the sofa in the Royal Suite at the Mandarin Oriental. And let's all budge up close and we can get rid of this interview in a few minutes. So I thought, fine. I turned on my tape recorder. There was an awful screaming sound and a red light flashing, and the batteries had gone flat, and I had no spare batteries. So Brenda from television said, let's take them from Dame Shirley's television remote. So we put her remote batteries. By this time, we'd already used up about another 6 minutes. People are banging on the door. And I just thought, this is going to be a nightmare. So I'm not making excuses. This is just having put her television remote control batteries into the tape recorder. I'm on a sofa wedged between the posh boys Blake and Shirley. Here you go. Enjoy. Blake, I've had you boys on my show a couple of times, and I always say you're the most scrubbed up and well presented of all my guests.
Well, that is very, very kind of you. We aim to please, and I must say you look absolutely stunning tonight as well.
Thank you.
Jo.
And you're in DJs tonight because we're in very good company. You have with you, and I am so chuffed, Dame Shirley Bassey. Welcome to the afternoon show.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I must say you are the friendliest bunch, actually. I feel like I've been in this... Tell me about the single, the Christmas single. How did this come about?
Oh, I think I was the best at this.
Okay. Well, it came about because about 8 years ago, when Blake started, or 9 years ago, we sang for Dame Shirley at a good milestone birthday.
It
of
was
yours,
a surprise. I didn't know.
You didn't know, exactly. So we sort of jumped out of a cake on stage with Christopher Biggins and sang to Dame Shirley. And really, 8 years later, I guess she's always somehow remembered that.
Yes. And then we met up
at a Variety launch party.
Last year, wasn't it?
No, God,
No,
no.
this year.
It was August.
It was this summer.
This summer. It was
that
really
quick.
Yeah.
My God. See how these guys work on me?
I know. They never stop.
They're so fast.
They are. Constantly touring. So, and is it true you've never had a Christmas single before?
Never. I never had a Christmas song. Ever.
Did you choose this one?
No. In a way, they sent me 4.
Yeah.
And that sounded like the one with nearer to my voice.
Yes, nearer to your voice. Well, it's got, I call it the sort of the Goldfinger chord, as it were, and it's got an interval at the beginning. It's got this lovely rising melody. So in Goldfinger, of course, you've got Goldfinger, and in this one, you've got chestnuts roasting on. So it's that same thing,
I was waiting outside the door, and you burst into Goldfinger, and I was like, oh my goodness, and there was a chambermaid, and we both stared at each other and went...
It's the most exciting. So we did an interview the other day, and again, Dame Shirley, just afterwards, we were chatting about the song, she suddenly started singing a bit of the song, and it never loses its impact, even having recorded with you, and she suddenly that voice comes out, and it's Dame Shirley Bassey. It's just awesome. And
you just hit that note that easily.
Yes. Well, I mean, I've never been trained. I know nothing about music, and that's how I've been singing all my life. From a child. My mother jokes that I could sing before I could talk. I don't think I believe her.
Didn't you say you used to sing instead of cry?
Yes, when I was little. My God, if I was upset, I never cried. I sang. And I slept with 2 sisters, and they said, "Mom, Shirley's singing again."
Isn't that wonderful to sing instead of crying?
Well, it just shows you, doesn't it, the connection between emotion and music. And I think you say you're untrained, but that, I mean, that's irrelevant because you're clearly so connected emotionally to the way you deliver music, and that's why every delivery you give is unique.
Well, we've always said as a group that what we try and do is sing music that moves people, and we sing a massive variety of styles. But if there's emotion in that music, whether it's uplifting or whether it's moving in terms of tears, that's what connects people to music. And when you hear this single, you'll hear.
But when you hear the four of us, I mean, I hope you're amazed as I was when I heard the four of us singing together and harmonizing. I mean, I've never done this before, and it was all so exciting.
And it was in a London studio, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we first rehearsed it, didn't we, in my flat?
Yes.
In Battersea.
Yeah.
Battersea was great.
And I first played it at my a flat in Monte Carlo.
That's slightly better, I think.
We didn't have a key then.
No, we didn't. Yeah,
And that was
still
interesting
picking,
when I
weren't we?
came to when I flew over to your flat.
Yeah.
And we tried the first key and it was wrong.
Yeah.
And
well, we went sort of back and
And
forward.
then
for
you gave me
ages,
another
didn't
key,
we?
and then no, I don't like that key. I'm down there.
Yeah.
I don't want to sing down there.
But it's
I want to sing up there.
It's been very much a London project. We recorded in Price Studios in Battersea. We recorded the music video in Angel Studios up in Islington, and we're now here, at the Mandarin Oriental in Hyde Park. So it's very much a London thing.
May I just ask, this is a London radio station. Dame Shirley, when you're in London, do you just walk amongst people and they have absolutely no idea? Are you in disguise?
Sometimes I can do that in Monte Carlo, but I can't do it here. I mean, I've been in restaurants where women had a few drinks, they're bold enough, and they come and sit at my table, want to chat.
Do you mind?
I do, yes. But when I'm putting, a lump of food into my mouth,
So
no,
if you're
I
listening and you
don't
think-
like it. I don't like it.
If you're listening, you think you're doing it, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Just two more questions. One, we've played the single, and we're now going to play one other track from the album. Which track would you recommend?
Oh, my goodness. What do you think, boys?
Well, it's forecast to be one of the whitest Christmases of all, so why don't we play Let It Snow?
And can I just ask you, Dame Shirley Bassey, where do you love to go when you're in London? What's your favourite place?
My favourite place, the shopping. Oh gosh, I everywhere. If I give a name, otherwise all these ladies, they have a few drinks, will start coming up to me.
So I think that's very sensible.
Just say we're in Knightsbridge. It's quite nice.
It's quite nice.
Corner
yes.
shop's not bad. And just finally, I saw you, and these guys won't remember, I saw you on This Is Your Life with Eamon Andrews, and I just loved you so much because you had a hat on.
I know.
I loved you. I loved you. You had a hat on, no makeup, and you were still beautiful. I'm not just buttering you up, but it was such, because we never saw stars like that ever in that state.
And I divorced my husband over that because he did not tell me that they were going to meet me at the airplane, and I'm looking out the window as we're taxiing. We stopped. I said, there must be somebody important on this aeroplane. And he said, why? I said, there's all photographers down there.
Oh, God. And it was you.
And it was you. And
I
Eamon.
didn't think it was for me because I had no makeup on. And I had this
You looked
hat down over my ears.
You look wonderful. Thank you so much,
you.
Blake. Dame Shirley Bassey, thank you so much, and enjoy your evening.
Thank you very much.
you, our
Thank you.
pleasure.
Choice, but I am going to play the one that she actually sang with them. This was recorded, as you heard, in a studio in London, in Battersea, and they're hoping this is going to make Christmas #1. Have a listen.
All through the year we waited through spring and fall.
To hear silver bells ringing and wintertime bringing
The happiest season of all.
Chestnut.
Oh, my goodness.
Roasting on an open fire.
Yes.
Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide
could make number one. I know you shouldn't play Christmas records till the 1st of December, but this is something else, isn't it?
Santa's on his way. He's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. That's right. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly.
So this is Dame Shirley, Bassey and Blake. What do you think of it?
I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from
Recorded in a basement in Battersea.
although it's been said many times, many ways. Merry Christmas to you. They know that Santa's on his way.
So there we go. I think that is a wonderful track. And do you know what's so interesting is she loved having those beautiful young boys around her. And in fact, the PR girl said, you know, she's full of energy, full of life because they adore her. And it probably is quite lonely being Dame Shirley Bassey performing, I don't know, whatever function she's at. But with all of Blake around her, she was loving every moment and they were really looking after her. Thank you for your emails. This is from Scott. You loved me playing that Never, Never, Never track. He says, Joe, oh my God, I love this Shirley record. That was the song we danced to when my boyfriend became my husband. Love you loads. Scott, thank you.